7 Isekai romance anime, where the MCs are so overpowered they break game balance, collect harems like trophies, and make you wonder why anyone bothers having villains anymore. Let's go, guys. Number 7. In another world with my smartphone. Toya died. God said my bad bro and yeeted him into a fantasy world with one smartphone that somehow has infinite battery and Wi-Fi to absolutely nowhere. This boy speedruns becoming overpowered faster than you can say balanced protagonist. He learns every magic spell after seeing it once, because apparently God's apology package included creative mode cheats. The romance? Oh, he doesn't just get one girlfriend. He collects them like Pokemon cards. 4 girls? 8 girls? The number keeps growing, and they're all okay with it, because this is that kind of wish fulfillment fantasy. Toya's internal monologue is basically, guess I'll just be amazing at everything forever, while externally, he's solving kingdom-level crises before lunch. The smartphone is barely relevant after episode 2, which is hilarious considering it's in the title. He's crafting golems, ending wars, and inventing new magic systems while his harem debates wedding arrangements. The drama is non-existent because Toya can literally slip through dimensions to avoid conflict. Some villains show up, he deletes them with 0 effort, and everyone claps. The real conflict is figuring out how many fiancés one man can juggle before the wedding budget bankrupts several kingdoms. It's shamelessly indulgent, aggressively wholesome, and somehow that smartphone is still less useful than his god-tier protagonist privileges. This is Emeverse Anime. Watch this video to the end and hit that subscribe button now. Number 6. World Break. Aria of Curse for a Holy Swordsman. Moroha wakes up remembering his past lives where he was basically anime Jesus in 2 different timelines, which sounds cool until you realize the show can't decide which backstory to focus on. He was a legendary knight and a legendary sorcerer, meaning he dual wields power systems like some kind of narrative cheat code. The school for saviors, reincarnated warriors, becomes his personal highlight reel. Moroha doesn't just fight, he monologues about honor and duty while casually demolishing opponents who trained for years. His inner thoughts oscillate between, I must protect everyone, and why is this happening again? Which, fair. The romance situation? 2 girls from his past lives remember being in love with him. One's a Russian princess with severe yandere energy, the other's a tsundere knight who communicates primarily through violence. They're both aggressively pursuing him while he's trying to save the world from... Honestly, the threat changes every arc. The animation budget clearly went on vacation during fight scenes, leaving us with spectacular still frames and aggressive camera shaking. But Moroha keeps activating forbidden techniques that should kill him, then survives through protagonist immunity and the power of flashback exposition. The show throws dramatic reveals like confetti, secret organizations, ancient evils, political conspiracies, but resolves them so quickly you wonder if they forgot what pacing means. It's melodramatic, oversaturated with past life drama, and Moroha's overpowered enough to make you question why there's even a school. Number 5. Tsukimichi, Moonlit Fantasy. Makoto gets summoned to another world by a goddess who takes one look at his face and goes, absolutely not, before banishing him to the wilderness like unwanted DLC content. This goddess is so petty and shallow that she becomes the show's accidental villain, and honestly, iconic. So, Makoto's dumped in monster territory, befriends a dragon and a spider, who become hot girls because of course they do, and starts building his own civilization out of spite. His inner monologue is basically, I just wanted a normal Isekai experience, while externally he's accidentally becoming more powerful than literal deities. The goddess gave him insane magic power as a consolation prize, not realizing she created her own worst nightmare. Makoto can't speak the human language at first, which is hilarious. He's founding cities and negotiating trade deals through charades and broken phrases while his companions handle translation. The romance is refreshingly understated. Emma the dragon and Mio the spider are devoted to him, but also terrifyingly powerful beings who keep eating his enemies, sometimes literally. The show doesn't rush into harem dynamics. Instead, Makoto's building a merchant empire, revolutionizing magic theory and reluctantly getting involved in human politics. He meets the hero and heroine the goddess actually summoned, and they're fine. Meanwhile, Makoto's over here reshaping civilization, and the goddess is slowly realizing she banished the wrong guy. The power scaling is bonkers. Makoto holds back constantly because otherwise he'd accidentally genocide entire regions. It's revenge via success, and watching him out-protagonist the actual chosen ones is chef's kiss. Number 4. Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. Suzuki is a programmer pulling a literal death march. Work crunch, not actual death, when he falls asleep and wakes up in an RPG world as his max-level game avatar. Buddy went from debugging code to being level 310 in a world where level 50 is legendary. His status screen has more skills than a LinkedIn influencer's resume, and he opens his inventory to find reality-breaking artifacts he bought during a game sale. His internal thoughts are peak millennial exhaustion. I just want a vacation. While externally he's accidentally saving nations, toppling slave rings, and adopting every orphan and demi-human he meets. The romance? There are approximately 7 girls traveling with him, all various ages, some very young, which the show treats with appropriate guardian energy, thankfully. The actual romantic interests are the older party members who express interest, but Suzuki's too busy playing tourist and taking screenshot-equivalent notes about the world to notice anyone's feelings. He approaches this fantasy world like a sightseeing vacation. There's a dragon? Cool. Photo op. Ancient labyrinth? Time to map it for completion's sake. His poker face is legendary. Nobles try intimidating him while he's mentally calculating if he has time to check out the local cuisine. The power fantasy is absurd. He can one-shot demon lords with basic attacks, but chooses to pretend he's a normal traveler because he doesn't want the attention. Its slice-of-life isekai with a protagonist could solo the world's problems before breakfast, but would rather try the regional desserts. The gap between his actual power and his just a tourist act creates comedy gold. Number 3. 100. Hayato arrives at a floating city academy where students pilot battle suits called hundreds to fight mysterious aliens called savages, and immediately the show's like, what if we made this needlessly complicated? Turns out he has the highest compatibility rating ever recorded, making him naturally overpowered because someone forgot to install difficulty settings on this protagonist. The romance is where things get messy. His roommate is a beautiful girl, except they're prey. Surprise, it's actually his childhood friend cross-dressing as a girl to stay close to him. The logic is anime logic. Meanwhile, every other female character develops feelings for him after he saves them once, because apparently heroism is this world's most effective dating strategy. His internal thoughts are genuinely confused. Why is everyone acting weird? While externally, he's accidentally building a harem through basic human decency and combat effectiveness. The show throws every genre trope into a blender. Battle school, mysterious past, princess character. Tsundere, childhood friend. All while Hayato pilots his 100 suit to defeat monsters with increasingly ridiculous names. The plot tries maintaining mystery about the savages and why Hayato's special, revealing that his little sister might be connected to everything. But honestly, the show's more interested in hot springs episodes and beach training arcs than its own lore. Combat scenes flash by with decent choreography before rushing back to relationship drama. Hayato's overpowered, but the show occasionally remembers to make him struggle for tension's sake. It's aggressively average in a sea of isekai-adjacent battle harems, distinguished primarily by that wild roommate reveal that the show treats as a slow-burn secret despite being obvious from episode 1. Number 2. Wise Man's Grandchild. Shin died in an accident, got reincarnated as a baby, and was immediately adopted by the world's most powerful wizard, who decided, I'm going to teach this child zero common sense. Fast forward, Shin's a magical prodigy who can reinvent the entire magic system by applying modern physics and logic, except nobody taught him basic things like money or social cues or maybe don't atomize your problems. His inner thoughts are genuinely innocent. Isn't this normal? While everyone around him loses their minds because he just casually rewrote centuries of magical theory before breakfast. The government basically creates a special school class just to contain him and his friend group, who all become overpowered by proximity. It's the educational equivalent of, we need to keep all the nuclear codes in one room. The romance is surprisingly straightforward. Shin meets Cicely, a sweet girl who doesn't faint at his displays of godlike power, and they're just wholesome together. No harem shenanigans, just a functional relationship where they support each other. Revolutionary for this genre. She becomes powerful in her own right, and their relationship progresses at a pace that feels almost normal. The real comedy is watching nobles and demons try to threaten Shin, while he's mentally calculating how much force would turn them into particles. His grandpa forgot to teach him humility or restraint, so Shin approaches international incidents with the tactical awareness of a golden retriever with a nuclear arsenal. Demons invade, he deletes them. Assassins attack, he accidentally invents new defensive magic. The kingdom deploys him like a strategic weapon, while trying to teach him that maybe, just maybe, overwhelming firepower isn't always the answer. Spoiler, it usually is. Number 1. Problem children are coming from another world, aren't they? 3 insanely overpowered teenagers get summoned to a world called Little Garden, where gods, demons, and legendary figures play high-stakes games for territory and power. Isekai can break gifts, supernatural powers with his fists. Asuka commands people with her voice, and Yu talks to animals and wields legendary weapons. They're not Isekai protagonists, they're walking apocalypses wrapped in teenage boredom. The show's premise: help a struggling community regain their flag and status by winning gift games, supernatural contests. The reality: these 3 absolute menaces speedrun challenges meant for experienced warriors while trash-talking gods and demon lords. Iseoi's internal monologue is basically, finally, something interesting, as he punches concepts and breaks game rules through sheer audacity. His external presence radiates chaos energy. He's genuinely thrilled to fight opponents who won't instantly disintegrate. The romance is barely present because these 3 are too busy dismantling power structures and flipping off authority figures to worry about relationships. The bunny girl who summoned them, Black Rabbit, tries maintaining order while they treat apocalyptic threats like mid-afternoon entertainment. The power scaling is insane. They're casually defeating opponents who've terrorized the realm for centuries. And they're clearly holding back, because total victory would be boring. What makes this show wild is that it knows its protagonists are broken. The narrative doesn't pretend they're underdog heroes. They're overpowered from frame 1, and the fun is watching them demolish challenges while displaying the cockiest energy in anime history. It's refreshing and chaotic, and ends on a cliffhanger that still haunts fans because there's no season 2. The ultimate problem, children: the studio for not continuing this absolute fever dream of a show.